Lou Ferrou is someone that interviews and tries to understand the most extreme views and people there is in this world. He is amazing at pushing someone to the absolute limit before they just basically shut it down. He would often talk about trying to get the questions that everyone's trying to ask without trying to offend them or without trying to feel like they're on the defense, because as soon as they go into that bit where they start going to the defense side, they will just shut down and they don't want to answer questions, they don't want to do the documentary, and they don't want to do the interview. And Lou Ferrou is really good at just being just before that, like he's trying to get as much as possible out of the person or the group without making them offended or without them shutting down and you're not getting a conversation. Anyway, I bring this up because I think it's a great example of pushing but understanding there is a limit where if you push too much it breaks. There's a video, I haven't even watched it, so maybe this is bad of me to speculate because I haven't even watched the video, but it's of I think it's Donald Trump and a NATO member, probably France, I don't know. And the title goes, will NATO end? Will it be able to survive without America? And if we're going to be all honest with ourselves, no, it probably wouldn't survive without America. And that's not a good thing for anyone, not even America themselves. And I feel like Donald Trump's doing this thing right now where he's pushing, and he's pushing not just on one side, but he's pushing outwards. And at one point, something's gonna break, and it's really gonna snap back in his face, I think, or maybe not even his face, but 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, there'll be that big snap that that break will happen. He might not be around, he's old now, but he might not be around to see the problems that he creates. But I really do think that he's really, out of all of our leaders, and let's be real, not a lot of our leaders are spot on, most are pretty meh, right? But he's one leader that he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and I really think that the person being interviewed, the person that he's trying to get the information from, is gonna snap. Do you know what I mean? Like in that Louis Theroux way, where that person's gonna shut down and just say, no, I don't want to interview. And I feel like Donald Trump is kind of doing that with the world right now. Although I do agree that in some things, especially with his absolute non-filterness, he has pushed that line to the closest than any other leader has in a very, very long time. That doesn't necessarily make it a good thing, because as soon as he steps over that mark, then it becomes a really bad thing. NATO is made for security and defense and all these other things, but realistically I think what NATO really comes down to is no one having war, right? It's a really good thing. It's a really good place to put your money, even if a lot of it is wasted. Don't get me wrong, let's be real, governments waste money in loads of different places. Loads of places are, there's laundering money, there's money being moved to someone else that probably shouldn't need it or have it. Yeah, that's gonna happen all the time, because unfortunately you have dickheads in this world. But that doesn't mean that you cut off the supply to an organization that is built on really trying to make sure that the world doesn't go to war. I'm quite a big fan of history. I wasn't when I was younger. I thought it was silly. When I got into year 9, I absolutely loved it because of my teacher. And my teacher, when teaching me history 1 or 2 times, I got confused about basically 2 events, and I thought they were the same one. It was like very, very small, but it was just like, oh, didn't that not happen then? And I got confused. and my teacher said to me that history normally never repeats itself, but it normally rhymes, or something along those lines. And that really stuck with me. You know, the more you look for it as well, the more you understand that that is so true. History normally does rhyme. And I can't help but think about the tension in our world right now, where all of these things are going on. Like, so much is going on. Whether right or wrong, or whether you're here or there is a lot of tension in the band. And I just don't feel like anyone's going to let go. And it will break, and it will smack us both in the faces, right? But whether you're here, whether you're there, whether you're up, down, left and right, the band will break at one point, and it will smack everyone in the face. There are no winners in war. When everyone dies and people starve to death, and, you know, there's no winners in it. And it's upsetting when we condition the majority of the population to believe that we can win war, when the reality is one life lost is a loss for everyone, not just the country that they were born in, you know. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.